beautiful afternoon to you and welcome to Healthy Living with Oloije Oikokai. Today on the program, we'll be taking a look at breastfeeding in celebration of World Breastfeeding Week. Now, this year's theme is Empower Parents, Enable Breastfeeding. In every country of the world, breastfeeding has a multitude of benefits for women and children, saving lives, improving child health, and protecting mothers against ovarian and breast cancer deaths. While mothers have been breastfeeding for centuries, we have only recently begun to fully understand its vital role in health and development. With me to do justice on the program today is a seasoned doctor, Dr. Jolly Nusa Iguma. But before we get to meet him, let's go for a short break. Thank you so much for rejoining us on the program Healthy Living on your darling station with Oloije Oikokai. Yes, today I earlier told you we'll be talking about breastfeeding. This is in commemoration of Breastfeeding Week. And to do that with us is a seasoned doctor, Dr. Jolly Nusa Iguma, a medical practitioner. Dr. Jolly, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Nice to see you once again. All right, Dr. Jolly, today we'll be talking about breastfeeding in commemoration of World Breastfeeding Week. We want to know why this breastfeeding, what is breastfeeding?
Yes, breastfeeding is the ideal food for the healthy growth and development of the newborn babies. That is to say that if we are to emphasize on giving balanced diet to children and adults, you can see that the breast milk contains the required constituent of the balanced diet that a newborn baby will need as a means to grow and for development. Every year since 1990, in fact, we have to say that breastfeeding is as old as man. It's not just a thing that came up recently. It's just an emphasis. Let people just know that breastfeeding is essential for their babies and for their own self. It's more or less like a mutual relationship, and we shall be looking at the importance of breastfeeding to the babies, the importance of breastfeeding to the mothers, and to the society at large. So that is the emphasis that we are trying to, put on breastfeeding. World Health Organization, in collaboration with UNICEF, they came up with a plan in August 1990, to promote, protect, and support breastfeeding. It's just an emphasis that breastfeeding, there's no, there's nothing that is better than breastfeeding. When we have other ones like the infant formula, it's just a substitute. It's not as, nutritive, does not have that immunological effect as compared to the breast milk itself. So this year, the theme of the Breastfeeding Week is Empower Parents, Enable Breastfeeding. So you can see that parents have to be empowered, because the mother that have to breastfeed the child, she must eat very well, because I lay emphasis on the balanced diet. If the mother doesn't eat well, there's no way she will have that strength to breastfeed the baby. So the mother too also needs, support from the husband, because we're talking about empowering parents, and the parents have to do with the father, the mother, maybe the children, as the case may be. So the father must be there to give psychological encouragement to the woman who has to breastfeed the baby. So you have to see that for breastfeeding to be a success, it has to be a collaboration with the family, the government, and the society at large, because the importance of breastfeeding cannot be overemphasized.
Okay, Dr. Iguma, I want to ask you, why is this day set aside? Why is there a special day, a special week? Now, Breastfeeding Week started from the 1st of August, and it will be ending on the 7th of August. Why is there this enlightenment?
Yes, it's just like every other day where we celebrate maybe tobacco free smoking day, HIV day, hepatitis day. You can see that it's a day that is set aside for some of those things that I've given you.
Okay.
But for breastfeeding, it's a global thing. So it's not restricted to any region to say for Nigeria women. It's a global thing. And World Health Organization have made us to know that it's only 38% worldwide that have embraced this breastfeeding. Very high in Senegal. 99% of women in Senegal, they breastfeed their baby. Hardly before you see formula feeding or any form of, substitute that you use to feed your baby.
Yeah.
So that emphasis is what we are trying to create.
Okay.
That there is no better substitute to breastfeeding. Breastfeed your baby, because when you breastfeed the baby will grow very healthy. Because the breast milk itself, you see, every woman that is pregnant, every woman has a breast. And when a woman is pregnant, there's this hormonal changes in pregnancy. And this hormonal changes in pregnancy will certainly cause, increase in breast size. This increase in breast size because of estrogen, progesterone, we certainly, cause the breast, to double in size as the case may be. This is a preparation for the baby to feed. And as soon as the baby delivers, as soon as the woman delivers the baby, you can see that there's this production of oxytocin, which is milk let down, that, allows the milk to flow for the baby to suck, as the case may be. But you can see that most women, usually the primiparous women, that is to say, women that are giving birth for the first time, they usually shy away from breastfeeding their baby because they believe that when they breastfeed their baby, their breast will become sag, their breast will, lose shape, as the case may be. So that is actually some of the, obstacle that, we have against breastfeeding. Women certainly don't breastfeed their baby. Instead, they go for formula feeding. So you can see that this day that is set, this 1 week that is set aside, is to put an emphasis. There have to be a publication, just like exactly what we are doing like this enlightenment. People in the villages, people, both the educated, the illiterate, the non-illiterate, they have to be, educated on the importance of breastfeeding. Let them embrace breastfeeding. There's no better substitute than breastfeeding. So that is why this week is set aside. Just like what I said earlier, from 1st August 1990, when this started, a week is set aside. From 1st August to 7th August, I say it's 1 week.
Yes.
So it's just to promote, to sensitize, to educate, to enlighten, women about the importance of breastfeeding. Letting them know that there's a mutual benefit. For example, having said that 38% is what has been captured globally. You can say that 38% is not a very good mark. It's not a pass mark at all. So in some countries, some women don't even breastfeed at all. Maybe because of their, nature of job, as the case may be. But what we are trying to promote is that it's part of your job. There's a need for you to breastfeed. And we encourage that whether you work in the government sector, you work in the private sector, there's a need for them to make provision in place for express breast milk. You can express milk and you give to your baby in form of a cup for, for your baby to feed on, as the case may be. So all these are ways to promote breastfeeding so that it will be, embraced generally among women.
Okay, Dr. Iguma, you talked about breastfeeding as a means of making the child healthy. So are we saying formula-fed babies don't have this nutrient as much as babies being breastfed?
Yes. If you compare breast milk with formula feeding, you will see that there's a disparity in terms of the nutrient concentration. Like I said earlier on, that when a woman is pregnant, there are hormonal changes. The hormonal changes will actually cause increase in breast size. The breast will certainly double in size in preparation for the baby that is going to feed from the breast. At that early stage of postpartum, that is when the woman just delivered, the first 3 days, there is this production of milk which is thick yellowish. That's what we call the colostrum. The colostrum. The colostrum is a natural immunological substance that, the woman that just delivered will have to expel from the breast. Many times you see that most women who don't understand this thick yellowish milk discharge from their breast when they just deliver, during the first, 2-3 days as the case may be, they, expel it out. They don't give it to their baby. So this milk, which is colostrum, that is produced by the woman during the first 2-3 days, has a high immunological value. It has a high level of immunoglobulin A that will protect the baby against any form of infection. So you can see that babies that breastfeed directly from their mother, compared to those that were, breastfed by formula feeding, the ones that breastfeed directly from the mother will be protected. Apart from this psychological bonding, imprinting that is created between the mother and the baby, there is also a form of protection against infection. In fact, babies that breastfeed directly from their mother, they are bound to be protected from respiratory tract infection, ear infection such as otitis media. Not only that, babies that breastfeed from their mothers are protected from diarrhea, which is a form of a gastroenteritis or a necrotizing enterocolitis. Other than that, babies who breastfeed from their mothers are also protected from having leukemia, which is a form of a cancer of the blood. And not only that, babies who breastfeed from their mothers also have a very low risk of developing type 1 diabetes. But as compared to those that were fed with formula feeding, there is a risk of developing what they call the childhood obesity. But if you look at, still comparing the breast milk with the formula feeding, children that are breastfed with the formula feeding, they tend to have, higher weight after 3 to 4 months as compared to those that were fed with breast milk. But that is not to say that the formula feeding is better than the breastfeeding, because I've just told you the protective, effect of the breast milk. These are not a formula feeding. They're not the formula feeding. Those protection against infection, against disease, as the case may be. So you can see that when baby breastfeed from their mother, they are protected against early childhood illness that I've just explained to you. So the respiratory tract infection, the otitis media, the leukemia, the type 1 diabetes, the sudden infant death syndrome, the leukemia, you see, they are protected. So those protections are assured. Usually when they suck the first milk that comes out during the first 2-3 days, which is called the colostrum, which is yellow, thick,
yellowish.
Yes, yellowish, exactly. So that one is, a very good protection. It protects the lining of the GIT against any form of infection. So you can see that when there are times when babies are not giving breast milk, maybe they're not fed with formula feeding. For the reason that the colostrum is not there as an addictive, they are most likely going to develop what they call the breastfeeding jaundice. What it means is that the colostrum, which protects against the intestinal lining, is not there. Because when a baby is born, there is this fetal hemoglobin in their red blood cells. So this fetal hemoglobin have to be metabolized to become an adult hemoglobin, as the case may be. Because the baby in question is no more a fetus now. It's now a neonate. So the conversion now, that change now, will cause what they call the hemolysis. There's this breakdown of red blood cells. So this breakdown of red blood cells, the breakdown of red blood cells will have to be converted to biliverdin, to bilirubin, and this bilirubin will have to be excreted through the urine, through the feces. And if the baby does not have, if the baby is not fed with breast milk, which is the colostrum, that will kind of liberate the bilirubin from the blood, you can see that this bilirubin will not be dispatched in the sclera, which is the white part of the eye, in the skin, and the mother will come down with the baby to say, oh, my baby is now yellowish, like that, which is form of a jaundice. That is what we call the breastfeeding diarrhea, the breastfeeding jaundice. So you can see that comparing breast milk with formula feeding there's a disparity. You cannot compare. The breastfeeding protects the baby, apart from the fact that it has the required nutritive value, which is the balanced diet, carbohydrates, protein, fat, and minerals, as compared
all
to
nutrients,
all nutrients. Exactly.
breastfeeding.
And mind you, the breastfeeding does not require any formulation. It's just directly for as much as the mother washes her hand, you know,
You wash the nipple.
you wash the nipple, then you hold the baby and ensure that the back is well rested.
Yes.
Then you use the contralateral hand, that is the other hand, to support the baby,
the child.
ensuring that the thumb and the index finger is just above the nipple. So the baby, of course, will feed from there. Give breast milk to baby at demand. It can be up to 8 to 12 times. That is what we say, 8 to 12 times in 24 hours. As far as the baby is willing to suck, let the baby suck, irrespective of where you are.
All right, most women, we find out, they say, I am not lactating. I don't know the reason why I am not lactating. Is there a particular diet nursing mother should undergo?
Well,
This is either before you put to bed or after you put to bed. You find some women, when they put to bed, that same day, you don't have them giving their children breast milk. Now you see them saying, oh, I can't provide milk for my little one. What should I do? So what causes this to happen? That immediately you find a woman, she put to bed, and the instant you don't get that woman having to be able to give the child to suckle.
Yes, there's an individual difference to this. As I was talking about the breast development during pregnancy, there is an hormonal change in pregnancy. The progesterone, the estrogen, the prolactin that will cause the breast enlargement in preparation for the baby to suck. Then immediately the baby is delivered, there is this oxytocin, which is an hormone that is also produced to cause the milk to flow out in form of a milk letdown. So you see that some women might not produce enough of this hormone. So because of that, during the early stage of postpartum.
Okay, that's during pregnancy.
Yes, during that early stage, they just delivered.
Okay.
They might not be able to express milk from their breast. But that is not to say that it has to be prolonged. It's just for a few days. But within these few days, that baby have to be fed with other means. Maybe formula feeding will come up. Because there's nothing we can actually do about it. But mind you, in some clan, there's what we call the wet nursing. What it means is that if we have to emphasize on breast milk feeding, you will see that some women will have to volunteer. That's what we call the wet nursing.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, even in modern day practice, some women that, because of illness,
they are not too strong.
They are restricted from breastfeeding their baby. Usually after a cesarean operation, as the case may be. That first few days, sometimes we have to order another woman that can breastfeed the baby to donate, So, because the breastfeed can be kept over a period of 6 hours at room temperature. 6 hours at room temperature. It can also be kept in the fridge, and it lasts up to a week. Even breastfeed can last
in the fridge.
In the fridge, yes.
Okay.
Even when frozen, breast milk can even last as long as 6 to 12 months. So we can take breast milk we just get from another mother. That's what we call the wet nursing.
Okay.
Wet nursing or cross nursing. We just take a donor, just like the way we have a surrogate mother that will carry somebody's baby, as the case may be.
Yes.
So we just take and we start to breastfeed the baby, Sometimes even the baby on their own might still find it difficult to suck. Most especially if the baby has what we call the tongue tie or the ankyloglossia. So that will prevent the baby from sucking. So maybe other means have to be done, maybe through an NG tube to give the baby breast milk. But these are it's not too common. That is why I said individual difference. Individual difference. But that is not to say that it doesn't happen. That some mothers will just find it difficult to express breast. But however, through massaging, the breast will have to be let down.
Okay. All right. Talking about the significance of breastfeeding now.
Yes. Other than the bonding that is created between the mother and the baby, you see that I've been able to explain the importance of breastfeeding to the baby as a protection against childhood infection. And for the mother most especially, you see that women that breastfeed their baby, they are more likely not to have what you call the breast cancer. They are more likely not to also suffer what you call the ovarian cancer. And women that also breastfeed their babies are protected from having what you call the postpartum hemorrhage. Postpartum hemorrhage, that is to say, you see that postpartum hemorrhage is one of the causes of early, of death, what we call the maternal death, you know, postpartum hemorrhage. You can see that when women breastfeed their baby, they are protected from, you know, bleeding during that, you know, postpartum, that preperinatal period. Mm-hmm. You know, that's first 6 weeks of after delivery. Yes, they are protected from bleeding when they breastfeed their baby. You can see that mothers have an advantage too, just like the way the baby has. It's a mutual relationship. Other than that, women that breastfeed baby are also protected from having what we call the osteoporosis, which is a form of weakness of the bones, a form of that will result to osteorheumatoid arthritis. They are protected, so their bones are usually dense when they you know, allow you know, their babies to suck from their breast, you know, as soon as they deliver. And not only that, women are also protected from type 2 diabetes, just like the babies too are protected from type 1 diabetes. Other than that, the breast feeding is also a natural protection from getting pregnant. So it's more or less like a natural contraceptive. So women that breastfeed their baby, usually exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months, they are protected. Okay. They are protected. So it delays amenorrhea. Okay. You know, their menstruation is delayed when they breastfeed for that first 6 months, and that first 6 months will also give them a protection from getting pregnant. Exactly.
Okay. So are we saying that women that don't breastfeed their child, they tend to
menstruate earlier as compared to those that breastfeed?
Okay.
Yes, that is what we call the, you know, that is what we call the natural protection now. Okay. That's the natural protection. Right. It's a natural contraceptive. So you can see that the women has an advantage too. So other than the advantage to the babies and to the women, there's also an economic importance, the society importance. You see, if a baby is sick, there will be absenteeism from work. The women have to take the child to the hospital. So you can see that the healthcare cost will increase if the baby is sick. But however, when the mother breastfeeds the baby, when breastfeeding is encouraged and the baby is protected from that early childhood illness, you can see that the workforce will increase and the economic value too will also increase. And mind you, the formula feeding, they come in packages, either in bottle or in cans. And those things are also source of environmental pollution. Okay. So, unlike the breast feeding, it doesn't require any water to dilute. It does not require any form of, you know, mixing with any other, you know, any other mineral, as the case may be. It's just direct. It's a natural form.
Okay, Dr. Jolly, I'll have to cut you there. In case you're just joining us and you're wondering what we're talking about, is breastfeeding in commemoration of Breastfeeding Week. This happens from 1st of August to 7th of August. So we're celebrating this Breastfeeding Week, and you want to be a part of us? Yes, you can call us on 052 290 573. We have a caller on the line. Hello, caller. Hello, good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Sarah, calling from MMW, Matala Mohammed.
All right, Sarah, you have a question for our doctor, right?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead.
I've been breastfeeding now for 3 months plus.
Okay.
And from time to time, I feel pain.
You still what?
On my nipple.
Okay, you feel pain.
I have, sometimes I have serious pain on my nipple.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So, what can I do, please?
Okay, you see, that is...
Yes, a doctor is speaking to you right now, so you can go ahead and listen.
Thank God that the breast is bilateral, that is two, left and right. So it's not possible for you to feel pain on the two breasts at the same time, exactly. So that is one thing that actually discourages women from breastfeeding their baby. Some women will come down with what we call the breast engorgement. You know, it's just heavy. And for the fact that the breast is heavy, there's bound to be tenderness or pain, as the case may be. And there may also be a kind of an ulceration, a form of an injury around the nipple. But I tell you that injury to the nipple is a wrong, would usually occur because of the wrong method with which they give
the baby latch
exactly, the baby breast milk from the breast. Because what I'm trying to say is that when you are breastfeeding your baby, ensure that the mat is not just on the nipple, but it's on the areola, which is the black part, the skin surrounding the nipple. That is where the mat should be. But by the time the mat of the baby is just at the tip of the nipple, the stretch, even if the baby does not have, the baby is toothless, the stretch effect with time is bound to have what you call the mastitis or the nipple, you know, or pain around the nipple. So certainly this might be the reason why that woman that just called is having pain in the nipple. But my advice is that you have to see a doctor, because when if it's a mastitis, if it's not well treated, it might result to what we call the breast abscess, which is a form of a pus around the breast, and it has to be expressed out through an incisional drainage method. So I say you have to see a doctor. But mind you, your breast is two, left and right. You can give the other one that you don't feel pain. With time, the other one can also heal on its own. So you don't have to deny your baby from feeding from your breast.
Nutritional values.
Yes.
Okay, hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Faith. I'm calling from Artillery.
All right.
What I wanted to ask, my baby is up to 10 months. I breastfeeded her for good 6 months. That is exclusive. But the things make me to put on weight. And now the things affecting me. I don't know what to do.
Well, to put on weight is not something that we have to bother much about. We emphasize that babies have to be breastfed for 6 months exclusive. 6 months exclusive means that you give just breast milk to the baby solely. No water, nothing, except medication. Maybe in the case of maybe the baby goes for immunization and the body is hot, you give paracetamol, as the case may be. That's the only indication with which you give other things apart from the breast milk. For 6 months. Then after 6 months, you cannot do what you call the weaning. You try to, you know, substitute, you know, other foods like fruits and other small food that, you know, the baby will appetize for. You know, you add to the breast milk. And you can still continue breastfeeding up to 2 years. Up to 2 years. That is the campaign. That is the campaign policy of this breastfeeding week. It's not just to say after 6 months, then you just deny your baby from the breast milk, as the case may be. And sometimes, the reason why women will not like to breastfeed their babies, maybe when they're not pregnant. But I tell you that even when you have a baby that you are breastfeeding and you are not pregnant, as the case may be, maybe because of that you are unable to space, maybe after a year, while you are still, you know, sometimes breastfeeding your baby, after a successful exclusive breastfeeding, is that they now got pregnant. But I tell you that even if you are pregnant, or even if you have a 3-month-old baby, and the other baby is just a year and 3 months. If that baby that is a year and 3 months is still willing to breastfeed, let that baby breastfeed.
Along with
exactly,
the
yes,
newborn.
that's what we call tardying breastfeeding.
Okay.
There's no problem about that at all. Because you can see that breastfeeding protects against childhood infection. When baby breastfeed, they are protected from having what we call the diarrhea. And diarrhea is a killer illness in under 5 age group. Respiratory tract infection, you know, necrotizing enterocolitis, childhood obesity, they are protected against all those forms of illnesses. Type 1 diabetes, I've highlighted them. Breastfeeding, apart from the fact that it has a nutritional value, it also has immunologic value about the immunoglobulin A I told you about. So when you breastfeed your baby, you can see that hospital visitation will be reduced, as the case may be.
Okay, some parents, they will say, I don't know when I'm expected to stop breastfeeding my child. Hello?
Hello, good
afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm Chris. I'm calling from Ogia Southwest.
All right.
Please, I have a baby. My baby is just 1 year and
1 year and what?
1 year and 6 months.
6 months.
Yes.
Okay.
But actually, my wife normally complains to me that he's not eating. I don't know, but he breastfeeds well, but in the area of eating, he's not eating. I'm worried. That is why I said, let me call him and know what to do.
Doctor, I don't know if you heard what he said. Hello, sir.
Hello.
You said your child is 1 year and 6 months, right?
Yes.
Okay. What did you say after that?
I said, but he don't like eating food.
Oh, he does not like eating food.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so you want to know what should be done?
Yes.
Okay,
That's why I'm calling.
Okay, 1 year and 6 months. Dr.
Yes.
Jolly.
Okay. I hope very well that this child also had an exclusive breastfeeding from the mother. Sometimes the weaning period is very, very difficult. Most especially when the child is now used to breastfeeding. They might, at that early stage, refuse to
want to give way.
eating other food, as the case may be. It has to be with practice for as much as the baby is not sick. And sometimes, too, baby may also have what we call the allergic reaction to other food. By the time they are exposed to other food, apart from the breast milk they are used to, that might cause the reason why they have to be withdrawing from that particular food.
Okay, so your advice is they should try.
They should try, yes. It's just with time. Yes, the baby will get used to eating. For as much as the baby is not sick, there's no comorbidity in addition to that food refusal.
Okay, before I was talking about when the mother ought to stop breastfeeding.
Hello.
So women, they feel... Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Patricia.
Okay.
I'm calling from Jokoro.
All right.
I wanted to ask the doctor if this exclusive follow that is first. When I gave birth to my baby child, I did breastfeeding, but I saw my flow all through the 6 months.
You did what?
I saw my flow.
Okay, all through.
Yes, but when I gave birth to female child now, the thing just feeds as I'm breastfeeding now.
Okay, the first child you gave birth to, you did exclusive breastfeeding.
Yes.
Up to how many months?
More than 6 months.
Okay, more than 6 months.
Yes,
Okay.
I did exclusive for 6 months before I started giving him food.
Okay. Then now the second one. Hello?
Well,
Okay,
what the woman is trying to say is that she breastfed
The first
the
one.
first baby for a period of 6 months. And at that time, she
saw
saw a period all
through.
through. But now, she had a baby boy. For 1 year and 6 months now, she has not seen a period. My advice for her is that for as much as she did exclusive breastfeeding, let her do a pregnancy test to ensure that she is not pregnant. Of course, there's what we call the lactation amenorrhea. Just like I explained earlier, is a protection against early pregnancy for a woman that is breastfeeding, a form of a natural contraceptive. For 1 year and 6 months, is not to bother about. Certainly, for as much as she is not pregnant, she will certainly see a period.
Okay. Then some women, I hear them saying, my child has not started walking, so I would not stop breastfeeding this child.
Yes, that is the function of the breastfeeding too. Breastfeeding also has what we call the cognitive importance, cognitive function. Cognitive function is what is responsible for the developmental milestone, for the baby to crawl on time, for the baby to walk on time, for the baby to be able to hold neck position at 4 months, as the case may be, for the baby to
Sit upright.
to sit upright. You know, those stage by stage growth. You know, the breast milk, of course, will ensure that. So for a mother to now understand that fact that, oh, I have to still be breastfeeding. And mind you, we say, do exclusive breastfeeding and continue up to the age of 2 years. Up to the age of 2 years means that you breastfeed, but you also like do, you give other family food up to 2 years. At least for a period of 2 years, as a landmark, children will have started working at that age. Exactly. So for them to say, okay, I still have to breastfeed until my child is working, they are not far from the truth.
Okay, so when is a mother expected to stop breastfeeding?
2 years.
2 years.
Yes. But then we still have what we call the extended breastfeeding. So
More than the 2 years?
More than the 2 years. But 2 years is the age we say, okay, 2 years.
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
I am calling from Benin City.
Okay.
So I want to ask if lying down and breastfeeding a child is encouraging.
If it's encouraging.
Yeah.
Okay. That's lying down and breastfeeding a child, if it's good.
I would advise that the best position you have to breastfeed your baby is to sit down, hold your baby, support the baby with the, support your breast with the contralateral hand, and let the baby rest to suck your breast. Because the reason is that when the baby is lying down and the baby is sucking directly from the mother, the baby might have what they call the aspiration pneumonitis. That is the easiest, the best way I can explain is that the food might go to the wrong side. Okay. You see, that is what most women do. They breastfeed wrongly, and before you know, the baby will start having catarrh, cough, because of aspiration, as the case may be. So the best position, but that's not to say that some women don't even lie down to breastfeed, but it's a bad practice. So the best position is to sit down, let the mother's back rest on the platform, so that she will balance very well. Then hold your baby in place, in a position, using the contralateral hand to hold the breast with the thumb and the index finger above the nipple, and let the baby, have a good balance to nurse the breast properly.
Okay, so for working class women, for
hello.
mothers. Hello?
Hello.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
About the baby.
You said?
When somebody sleeps, they breastfeed baby. I want to know about that this thing where, because my baby now, since I just deliver, I dey lie down, they give her breast. She wants egg, the breast will come out for her nose. She come catar for her. I won't understand whether na the thing I didn't I want so that I will understand.
Okay.
Well, that is exactly what I just explained. Madam, what I will advise you is that,
Hello?
yes, that is what I just explained earlier, that it's a bad practice to breastfeed your baby while you are lying down, or while the baby is lying down, because the baby might experience what we call aspiration pneumonitis. That is, the food will go to the wrong side, and by so you see that your baby will not be coughing, the baby will not be having catarrh. So the best position to breastfeed your baby is to sit down, let your back rest on the platform, so that your baby can rest on your hand properly. With, you see, that contact, having your baby, lying in your hand with that contact, it promotes that bonding and imprinting, which is the psychological relationship I've explained before, that will come up between the mother and the baby during breastfeeding act. So you have to understand this process so that your baby will not come down with such a condition. Okay,
so can a breastfeeding mother extract breast milk and give to the baby, a working class mother?
Yes, that is expressed breast milk. And the best way you can do this, I actually told you about storage, that the breast milk itself can last up to 6 hours at room temperature. Okay. Just express it in a clean cup, and if you cannot express in a clean cup, you can use a pump to just extract, you extract and you can keep, and most especially maybe is a working class mother, so that the baby will have to be fed with that expressed breast milk, depending on when the mother returns. So, of course, it's encouraged, provided it does not last more than 6 hours. It's not a matter of say you expressed milk in the evening, then the next morning
you want to give it to the child.
So that might even cause diarrhea or that disease.
So are we saying immediately you express within the 6 hours?
Yes.
You should give to the child.
Yes, it should not last more than 6 hours.
Okay, not more than 6 hours.
Not more than 6 hours. Yes.
Then you talked about refrigerating the breast milk that can last for
a week, 7 to 8 days.
Okay.
If it's kept in the fridge, and if it's frozen. If it's frozen, because we are now going into a scientific world, you know, people are not doing extraordinary. So you see that there are some mothers that would not even like to breastfeed. So you have to buy a natural breast milk.
So are we saying
from a wet nursing mother?
Okay, are we saying one day we'll just open our eyes, we can go to the groceries and get...
We are coming to that.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm saying. We are coming to that.
Okay.
You see, the breast milk can last up to 6 to 12 months if frozen.
Yes.
From a frozen, just like ice cream. You know, you can freeze it for 6 to 12 months. It's still very okay. It has not lost any immunological value. It has not lost any nutritive value. Your baby can be breastfed with it.
Okay. I know someone out there is already thinking about this idea of going to store your breast milk and take it to maybe one of the supermarkets and say, breast milk for sale. Make sure you refrigerate it and it can last up to 2 years.
No, up to 1 week.
Okay,
if you freeze it, it can last up to 6 to 12 months.
Okay, hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Godfather.
Godfather.
From Ovia Southwest.
Okay.
So I really want to know if it's possible that a child that has been given birth to should breastfeed with other baby again.
What you talked about earlier.
Yes. What I'm saying is that, you see, some women, we automatically cut off breast milk from their older baby because they have just put to bed to a new baby or because they are pregnant. So what I'm saying is that I painted a scenario by saying that if you have maybe a 2-month-old baby and you have another a year and 6 months old baby. So for as long as a year and 6 months old baby is still willing to breastfeed,
yes. They can share.
They can share, no problem at all.
Sharing is
that is targeted
allowed.
breastfeeding. That is targeted breastfeeding.
Okay.
So you don't have to cut off that older baby to say, oh, your time has expired. This one is not for the new baby. No, because the baby gets protection by sucking the mother's breast. You know, I've talked about the respiratory tract infection. I've talked about the gastroenteritis, the necrotizing enterocolitis. I've talked about the leukemia. I've talked about type 1 diabetes. I've talked about otitis media, a form of ear infection. I've also talked about leukemia, which is a form of a cancer. So babies that breastfeed from their mothers are less likely to come down with those disease conditions. You can see that, in fact, breast milk is a goal for all mothers to embrace.
Okay, so women with implants, let's look at that area right now. Women with implants, can they breastfeed their children? Can they breastfeed their newborn? Yes.
With breast implants?
Breast implants.
For as much as the natural process is still very intact, considering the fact that a woman that is pregnant at that stage, there are hormonal changes in pregnancy. Even if a woman, she has had an implant, and this hormonal change in pregnancy is capable of causing an increase in breast size due to the effects of the progesterone, the estrogen, the prolactin, and when the woman delivers or just at the late stage of the 3rd trimester, then there's a milk letdown because of the effect of the oxytocin. Of course, this woman is part of the implant. She can also breastfeed the baby. But a condition whereby those processes are now lost, no breast development because of the implant, there's no milk letdown, there's nothing we can actually do about it. Okay. So maybe that would be a reason why she has to feed the baby with artificial means or using an infant, using the baby formula feeding.
Okay. So right now we can also say that those persons can go to the groceries if someone is there to get for them. Okay, now let's look at mothers. Sometimes they'll say, I don't know if my child is getting enough milk intake. How can a mother know if the child is getting enough milk intake?
Yes, you have to understand the fact that we will say breast milk is an ideal food for the healthy growth and development of a baby. You have to breastfeed this baby at demand. You don't have to say, okay, because as an adult you eat morning, afternoon, evening. So at that time, you too will not draw a timetable for the baby to say, okay, I gave you the morning, so I'm going to wait in the afternoon. But sometimes there's a psychological reaction to that effect. Babies don't talk, but the best way they can express hunger is to cry. So when they cry and you bring the baby close to your breast and the nipple touches the cheek, there's bound to open their mouth because of the rotling reflex. That's a natural process. So for as much as you are giving your baby this breast milk and the baby is growing, you know that the baby is actually getting enough. But I actually said earlier on that maybe we have a baby A and a baby B. Baby A is breastfed. The baby B is taking the formula food. You see that at 3 months, the baby that is taking the formula feeding will grow faster compared to the one that is taking the breast milk. But that is not to say that the one that is taking the formula feeding will grow more healthy than the one that is taking the breast milk. I'm talking in terms of weight.
Yes,
so the one that is breastfed with the formula feeding will weight, way more. Because at birth, we expect that whatever the birth weight is, at 6 months it should double.
Yes.
When your baby is 6 months, if the birth weight of the baby was 3 kg, 3 kg, then in 6 months' time we expect it to be 6 kg. That is the double. Then at 1 year it should be 2.5 times the weight at birth. So all these are some of the monitoring, tests we can use to assess the growth and development of a baby. And mind you, during the postnatal care, when the mother carries the baby for immunization, so we also measure their head circumference, measure their mid-arm circumference. So we assess the baby to know if actually the milk she's taking from the mother or maybe the other substitute after the exclusive breastfeeding that the baby is being fed on is enough for this baby. Okay. So by so we can also encourage the mother to say, oh, this baby is not growing well, this baby is growing well, as the case may be.
Okay, so before we go, I know mothers out there, they want to know, is there a particular diet they should be on for them to have enough milk in them to give to their child?
Yes, I cannot actually say that you have to take so and so food. Okay. Those food I might mention might be very expensive because we are trying to capture the general group. But the best way I can say it is that eat good food, eat balanced diet. Because as a breastfeeding mother, note that you are the one that is not producing the milk that this baby is being fed on. So that money you are supposed to use for formula feeding, reserve it for your family, upkeep. Reserve it for your own food so that you will lactate very well for the baby to feed. Mind you, if you eat good food containing carbohydrates, protein, take fresh water, take fruit, take mineral, good balanced diet, of course your baby too will have enough milk from your home breast.
Okay. In just 1 second, is there a particular measurement of fluid intake?
Well, that's for the baby.
No, for the mother.
You take, for the fluid, you take water at demand because, mind you, the breast milk contains water. That's one of the constituents of the milk too. It contains water. So you take a lot of water so that to avoid dehydration. Even if you are taking enough food without water, there's no way you can be able to express milk from your breast. Take at demand. So it doesn't mean that you have to take 2 liters of water, even if your stomach capacity cannot be able to carry it.
Okay.
So take water, take good food, take fresh fruits. Of course, you will have a good breast express for your baby.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Jolly Uguma, for a wonderful time out with you on Healthy Living today. We have been talking about breastfeeding in commemoration of Breastfeeding Week. I sure know you have had enough time to listen to our doctor today. You got yourself educated, informed, and of course enlightened. I'll be seeing you again next week for another time out on Healthy Living. Till then, do have yourself a wonderful day. Bye for now.